The Galactic Alliance had existed for over 3,000 years. 12 advanced species, each with their own strengths and specialties, had formed a coalition that spanned 17 star systems. They had enjoyed centuries of peace until the Void Collective arrived. Commander Trell stood on the bridge of the Alliance flagship undaunted, his 3 eyes fixed on the tactical display. The situation was grim. The Void Collective's armada had pushed through the outer defense perimeter, destroying everything in their path. 6 months of warfare had reduced the once mighty Alliance fleet to scattered remnants. Status report, Trell demanded, his voice steady despite the dread gnawing at his insides. Officer Dex, a slender Praxian with silvery skin, looked up from her console. Not good, Commander. The Void Fleet has breached the Omega sector. Colonies there are reporting heavy bombardment. Trell's mandibles clicked in frustration. And our reinforcements? The Novan ships are still 2 cycles away, Dex replied. The Krith battalions are engaged in the Sigma quadrant. We're on our own. Trell knew what that meant. The Undaunted and its small escort of cruisers couldn't stop the Void Armada alone. Another world would fall. More Alliance citizens would perish. Sir, called Lieutenant Gorn from the communications station. We're receiving a transmission. Unknown origin. Trell frowned. Put it through. The main view screen flickered, and a face appeared. A species Trell had never seen before. Bipedal, with smooth skin and only 2 eyes. The being wore a dark uniform with unfamiliar insignia. This is Admiral Jack Wilson of the Earth Defense Fleet, the stranger said. We've detected your conflict and are offering assistance. Trell exchanged glances with his officers. Earth? I'm not familiar with your world or species. We're relatively new to interstellar travel, Admiral Wilson explained. Humans have been exploring this sector for only 20 years. We've observed your struggle against the Void Collective from a distance, but we can no longer stand by while innocent worlds burn. Trell's skepticism was evident. Admiral, while I appreciate the offer, the Void Collective fields thousands of warships. Their technology is beyond anything we've encountered. What can your humans possibly contribute? A slight smile crossed Wilson's face. Commander, humanity has a saying. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. We've spent those 20 years preparing. Let us show you. Before Trell could respond, his tactical officer shouted, Commander! Multiple warp signatures detected. They're everywhere. The space around them erupted with flashes of light as hundreds, no, thousands of ships appeared. They varied in design, but all bore the same emblem Wilson displayed on his uniform. As I said, Wilson continued calmly, we've been observing and planning. Trell could barely process what he was seeing. How did your people build such a fleet without anyone knowing? We didn't advertise, Wilson replied. Humanity learned early in our history that appearing weak while growing strong has tactical advantages. We'll explain later. For now, your people need help. The Void Collective is about to discover they've picked a fight with more than just the Alliance. Within hours, the human fleet engaged the Void Collective forces. Trell and his crew watched in astonishment as the newcomers executed complex maneuvers with precision and coordination that even the most seasoned Alliance commanders couldn't match. Their weapon systems, Officer Dex reported with awe. They're using principles I've never seen before. They're somehow disrupting the Void ship's energy fields without depleting their own reserves. The human ships moved like predators, not just fighting but hunting. They seemed to anticipate the Void tactics, countering each move before it fully developed. What had been a massacre became a battle, and then, incredibly, a retreat. The Void collective forces began pulling back. 3 days later, aboard the human flagship Defiance, Commander Trell sat across from Admiral Wilson in a conference room filled with representatives from both fleets. You've saved my people, Trell acknowledged, but I still don't understand how you developed such advanced technology in isolation. Wilson leaned forward. We weren't always isolated. Humanity's history is one of constant conflict. For thousands of years, we fought ourselves. Tribe against tribe, nation against nation, ideology against ideology. While your alliance was building peace, we were perfecting war. A human officer named Tom added, "When we finally achieved unity, we had centuries of military innovation to draw upon. Different strategies, technologies, and perspectives that evolved independently and then converged. But how did you build such a massive fleet without detection?" asked Dex. "We didn't build it all at once," Wilson explained. "We've been constructing ships since our first orbital platforms. Old habits die hard. Even when we made peace among ourselves, we kept preparing for threats beyond our stars." Trell thought about this. "You expected to find enemies in space?" "We hoped for friends," Wilson corrected, "but planned for enemies. It's the human way." In the weeks that followed, the combined forces of humanity and the Alliance pushed the Void Collective back across the galaxy. The humans brought not just their military might but their adaptability and determination, qualities forged through millennia of strife on their homeworld. When the final Void stronghold fell, representatives from all worlds gathered to discuss the future. Humanity was formally invited to join the Galactic Alliance as its 13th member species. As Trell watched the human delegation enter the Grand Chamber, he recalled Wilson's words from their first meeting. The human understanding of conflict had saved them all. Peace was valuable, precious even. But the humans had taught the Alliance something equally important. Peace must sometimes be defended with overwhelming force. Throughout the galaxy, a new saying began to spread among the Alliance species. "Pray for peace, but if war comes, pray the humans are on your side." For when humanity entered the battle, all others trembled, enemies and allies alike.